Hello, this is MrChabry. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to actually check out what is this person talking about Route 7. What's going on down there? Let's do that first. And then we can just quickly fly back to where we need to go. But for that, we need to go back to Metropolitan City. Just figure out what is this sandstorm that everyone's talking about. What's going on? They might not have said sandstorm. They said some form of storm is going on Route 7. I want to check that out. I want to heal up my pokes first, because that was a pretty tough battle. Not going to lie. Had some really powerful dragon types. Haxorus. If you guys want to run a Haxorus, that thing has really, really high attack. If you're able to put Dragon Dance on it, or even Swords Dance. Swords Dance on Haxorus is just overkill at some point. But now we're at Route 7. Look at the change in the weather. What is going on here? We're going to go ahead and step up a little bit. We can see how powerful this rain is. Oh my gosh, I can't see a thing. We're going to slowly walk up here. I think they added these little things here. We're going to step by this house. Some old lady's like, oh, that Pokemon has come again. Which Pokemon? You don't need to be heading into that tall grass. It might be too much for me. We'll catch a cold standing and talking in the rain. Come inside and stay warm for a spell. What's going on? What Pokemon is she speaking about? These are questions that I want to have answered. So I'm going to step over here. Going to have some soup. What kind of soup? Chicken noodle. There's a Pokemon called Tornadus. And if you're playing Pokemon White, she's going to say Thunderous. Pretty similar Pokemon. They're known as the Genies. A lot of people call them that. Tornadus is pure flying type. And we got some soup with healthy vegetables. Tornadus, pure flying. Thunderous, flying electric. I thought I could try to catch it, but it flies so fast when I thought I found it, it just flew away. One day I can make a lap around the entire region. In the mornings it's in the south, in the evenings it's in the north. Shows up here in the evenings. Good to know. So, it'll actually swarm through different areas. You can see we step out here and the storm is gone. And why is the storm gone? Well, here he is. Hey, buddy, how's it going? He's going to jump down. Tornadus is going to throw a storm at us just to say, hey, look, I'm powerful. And he's going to just fly away. And that's it. Storm will go. And I guess, look at that. There's something in that grass. Not really interested in that because I've got bigger fish to fry. But it's going to be a roaming legendary. So, roaming legendary, sorry. It roams around the map, and you have to find it. Well, I'm not going to really go out of my way to try to catch this thing. Because, you know, I've already failed at catching the other legendaries that I've come across. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to catch this one, too. But we're going to go north now into Route 10. Continue our trek towards the Victory Road. You can see there is what looks like items in the grass. Those are going to be funguses and amoonguses. Really, I actually want to spray some repel before I step out there. Really, only one of those is an actual item. It's going to be this one on the far right. If you want to battle those things, go right ahead. But I'm going to go ahead and skip out. So we'll go ahead and continue over here. We're going to face a Battle Girl Amy who has a Scrafty. So Scrafty here is a fighting dark type. Really not a good matchup for Potato. So I do think I want to switch just for that. Because Jalapeno is actually a better matchup for it. We'll go into Jalapeno. And we're going to see a scary face before we do anything else. Scary Face is just going to lower our speed. And she goes for a high jump kick. That is a high risk, high reward move. If you connect, that is a huge amount of damage. But if you miss, you're going to do a huge amount of damage back to yourself. Next up is Mind Fu. You know what? Parsnip kind of didn't really have much to do. I think I want Parsnip to come out here and do some work for us here. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw an Air Slash your way. There we go. One shot. And that sounds good to me. So now we can head back up to the stairs. You can see that the path continues up, and we're gonna get a good view of this forest. There is a trainer right here just waiting for us. Go ahead. I've survived a lot of fierce battles with my Pokemon. I don't think I will lose. I have other thoughts, but I will leave that to this Pokemon battle. He's going to have a Fracture. He'll also have an Electric, which we've already got Electros. This guy is like behind in terms of what he's got. Let's go ahead and Swords Dance. I think that's actually a good idea. Because I want to see if Potato can take on this battle on his own. He also has an Acelgor. I don't think we've seen Acelgor yet. Pure Bug type. Really nice Pokemon. I do love Acelgor. It's really interesting. It's a fast Bug type. I don't think offensively it's going to be that much of a threat, but it is pretty fast, and that makes it pretty interesting. Here comes the Acelgor. Rock Slide would have been super effective, but I'm wondering if Metal Claw would be just as fine. He's going to go for me first, which takes the move that you're about to do. So really don't do a move that's super effective onto yourself. If I had click Earthquake, that would have done a little bit more damage. Next up is Electric. Electric is not as good as Electros. So we're going to go ahead and use Strength on it. Strength is pretty much my neutral coverage move. And we get an idea of how powerful Potato is. Potato can do so much for this team. I am impressed. Potato, I am glad that I've got you on this team with Swords Dance. You can do so much work. And I'm planning on using you for great effect. But let's try to get some experience spread across our team. I do want to let Parsnip get some experience. And the next trainer, Parsnip probably will be better to lead off with versus this person here. She's going to have a Maractus, an Alomomola, and a Cryogonal. We're facing some veterans. And of course we're facing veterans that are more skilled because we are near Victory Road. If you've ever played a Pokemon game, you know Victory Road is where things get serious. The toughest trainers are waiting for you there. The strongest wild Pokemon. And these people are the people that are making their way, presumably, towards the Victory Road. So they're going to have stronger teams, more coverage options for your Pokemon. They're going to be more of a threat once you step in to battle them. Next up is Cryogonal. I do think Watermelon needs some form of experience, so I'm going to go with that. Alright, and there's Cryogonal. Let's go ahead and let's just do a crunch, simple crunch. I'm thinking we should be fine with this Flash Cannon. And let's see if Crunch... See, the thing is, Cryogonal has terrible defense. So, a Crunch looks like it does a lot of damage. Aqua Jet to finish this thing off, so that way I don't have to worry about getting hit with another Flash Cannon. Next up is Alomomola. And you know what? I think Pineapple could use some experience. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to go for a Thunderbolt first. I want to see which one is going to do more damage to Alomomola. Thunderbolt's really in terms of the moves themselves, the best option. Ooh, and that's going to be enough. The thing is, Pineapple does have better physical attack, and I do feel like that's going to be an issue going forward, but at this point in the game, we just cut through Alomomola like it's nothing. Before I move forward, let's go ahead and spray some potion. Let's actually use some of these waters. Because these Pokemon are not damaged enough to where they need to have stronger potions. And I do want to put Pineapple up front. I do think I want to do that. So let's go ahead and Pineapple up front. So now what we do is we're going to cross this bridge, and we're going to hear a familiar voice. Sharon calling out, "Stop." And then Bianca's here. Drayden Professor Junior told me you're heading for the Pokemon League. Since it's Alder, since it's the champion, I think it'll be alright. Worst case scenario, you'll be battling Team Plasma's boss, in. I need to know if you can handle it. And Sharon's going to battle us to, you know, prove that we could handle in. Hey, we've battled in so many times on this trek. Most of those times, Sharon was not there. So he's really just doing a disservice. He's not really challenging us. And of course, he's going to lead off with his Unfezant. You know, this thing is not much of a problem. This thing is going to have Razor Wind, which is a terrible move. I don't know why he put that on this thing. It's a 2-turn move where it has to build up wind and then attack. And it's terrible. It doesn't even do that much damage. It also knows Detect, which just makes things annoying. Taunt, which makes things annoying. And then Air Slash, which has a chance to flinch. So really, Unfezant's just there to be annoying. If it ever clicks Razor Wind, it's just going to hurt itself. Next up is his ace, Samurott. He might send a different Pokemon after you, depending on who you have out. This thing's going to know Aqua Tail, Aqua Jet, Encore, and Slash. Aqua Tail going to probably do quite a bit of damage. But Pineapple is fine. Pineapple knows how battling goes. He's going to throw out a well-placed Thunderbolt. It's going to eat a berry. That's fine. It's not going to do that much. Not really berry, more leftovers. Let's go ahead and click Spark. Unfortunately, he's going to connect with the second Aqua Tail. I couldn't do anything to prevent that from happening. My thing is I don't want to heal up because he's going to heal himself up with leftovers anyway. So with that, let's go ahead and go into Parsnip. Really, Slash is the only thing it has that can do some decent damage to Parsnip. And it doesn't have Stab on that. Let's go ahead and Air Slash away. Finish this thing off. And there it goes. Parsnip leveling up just so beautifully. The poison really annoying. Liepard, he's going to send out Liepard next. I do have a nice Pokemon for that. I'm going to go ahead and use Watermelon. Liepard is going to know Assurance, Night Slash, Taunt, and Slash. Not really anything it can really do to Watermelon. I'm going to go ahead and click Waterfall since that's my strongest move and it's Stab. Taunt would have only been a problem if I clicked Shell Smash, which I was not going to. I'm not going to let this thing have a free knock at me. It's going to use a Citrus Berry this time, but we're just going to go for another Waterfall. And really the thing that surprises me about Sharon is that the movesets that he gives to his Pokemon are actually pretty weak. I mean, Razor Wind on Unpheasant, not really that great of a move. Assurance. At this point, he has Night Slash. Why does he still have Assurance? So, terrible moves. Next up is Semi-Seer. This thing still has terrible moves. It knows Flame Burst, which is a weaker fire-type move. Fury Swipes, I don't have to say anything else about that. It does know Leer, which... I mean, at this point of the game, you're wanting to use things that have more effects than just Leer. And then Lick. Lick is a terrible Ghost-type move. It's one of those moves that if you have a Ghost-type, or any Pokemon that knows Lick, it's usually the first move that you replace. Here we are, right before Victory Road, facing Sharon with Lick on his Semi-Seer. And he's going to go ahead and heal us up, which actually is pretty nice. Not going to lie. And there's no way I can compete with you, Chabry. Is there anything I can do to help? Just say so. Chabry, there's not much I can do to help you, but I want you to have these. We're going to have some Max Revives, which are actually pretty nice. So with that, I think that's pretty much our last battle with Sharon. And here Sharon's kind of reminiscing, you know, our journeys, how they started, and it's kind of how it's ending here. We started by holding hands, walking onto Route 1. Now we're here on Route 10, discovering that our paths are now diverging, and, you know, we're still going to be buddies. We're going to still use our X-Transceiver to keep in touch, but really, all of our paths have now diverged. So, a beautiful story about growing up, you know, your friends, they can still be your friends, but understand that sometimes life gives you different paths to travel on. Right there is a surprise fungus encounter. Do not touch that. I am surprised that I got something that attacked me. It's gonna be a Volibee. Gotta be a high level then if this is what you're doing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna run away. I don't even want to fight this thing. This is actually a good segue into some of the Pokemon that you can find here. Because there's Pokemon here that we haven't had access to before, and one of these is this Volibee. Now, if you're playing Pokemon White, it's going to be Rufflet instead. I do think I prefer Rufflet because it has more attack. Volibee is more of a defensive Pokemon. I'm gonna actually put Pino up front, just, or no, not even that. Potato up front, so we can keep these wild Pokemon away. And we'll go ahead and battle this guy. We probably will have to switch, but it's just that the Pokemon here are at such high level. We're also able to find Bouffalant here. Bouffalant is a pure normal type Pokemon. I do think it's a cool Pokemon, not going to lie. It's just a shame that some of these Pokemon, it's like way late game before you actually have access to them. You know, Braviary would be a really great Pokemon to use on a team. But you don't get to it until just now, after you've beaten the 8th gym badge. So you're going to have to do a lot of training to catch them to where you want them to be. No, I mean, at the moment, it's not that much of an issue. Just because my Pokemon are in their early 40s, too. So maybe it's less of an issue than, you know, I was thinking. But it's like such a late game Pokemon, you don't have time to get attached to it. As much as, you know, some of these Pokemon that are available mid-game. If I was playing Pokemon White, though, I would probably consider throwing Rufflet on the team. Now, when you're up here, there's only 2 actual items. It's going to be those 2 right there. Everything else is a trap and a ruse. And now we're going to walk down here. We're going to battle this guy. And this is Hiker Brett. Hiker Brett, not much of a threat if you've got what you can use. Now, he's got a girder here. Now, you know, Girder's cool and all, but you're wanting to use a Conkeldurr if you've got these. Conkeldurr is a good Pokemon. I have used it in battles. Never really used it in-game team, but it is very hard-hitting. It has a little bit decent bulk. Think of it as Machamp, but with better moveset. That's probably the best way to put it. Conkeldurr is like a Machamp, but has a better moveset. And that's the interesting thing about a lot of these Gen 5 Pokemon is that they do have kind of a mirror version if you look back at Gen 1. Boldor is sort of like Golem. The Boulder line is sort of like the Geodude Graveler line. Conkeldurr, sort of like Machamp. Interesting how they decided to do that. We're gonna get hit with a Smackdown. I think we should take one. Yeah. And that's just gonna leave us where we can Air Slash to finish this off. Nice. Not much of a threat. Was it too early for me? I suppose it must have been. But now we're going to step down, and I do want to heal up. Because there is a trainer standing there staring at us. And he decided, hey, let's give those people a chance to heal up. Parsnip needs to be held up, not going to lie. And let's go ahead and look over here. Hey. We got this far. Take this gift. Oh, he wasn't going to battle me. Don't be silly. He had something else in mind. He's going to give us a nice little Dusk Stone. Which, if you do have a Lampet, well, there you go. Roar is a pretty cool move. It's a phasing move. It forces your opponent to switch out their Pokemon. Sometimes that could come in handy. I usually don't use those types of moves that often. But that's just me. Alright, so this lady's going to start off with her Sawsbuck. She's also going to have a Jellicent. Sawsbuck's a pretty cool Pokemon. It has different forms depending on the season. I think I want to just Metal Claw this thing. See how much Metal Claw will do. And that's almost enough to take it out. He's going to waste a turn going for Aromatherapy. I mean, that's fine and all, but it's not going to matter. Actually, that wasn't good how I missed at such a critical time. And that's kind of a downside type thing that you have to deal with sometimes. Sometimes you miss. Next up is Jellicent. Let's go ahead and I'd say Watermelon should get some experience here. We do have Crunch on Watermelon, and that's going to be very helpful here. Plus, Jellicent has really high special defense. So, to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and go for a nice, well-placed Crunch. Alright, so there is the Rain Dance. And the Rain Dance... Oh, we can't use that anymore. You do... Okay, so here's the thing. You have proven to me that you do not have Water Absorb. And you have set up the rain just for me. So, you have just ultimately set up your own demise. Now Watermelon's at level 42. Alright, so with that, I believe that leaves one more trainer on Route 10. And I do have to say, I do love the music on Route 10. I just interrupted the music, but you know what? That's fine. Listen to this music. I use it all the time in different videos because I just love it. The vibe is just so good. Alright, but now it's time to take on this guy right here. What is he going to have? I do think I want to actually lead off with Jalapeno. Jalapeno, I don't want you to fall too far behind on me. Besides, this person is going to start off with a Beartic. And Jalapeno is really good against Beartic. He also has a Seismitoad, and Grass is the best thing against Seismitoad, and only one Pokemon on my entire team has a Grass-type move. And surprisingly, that's Jalapeno. So I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and get a Flame Charge first. Get a boost in speed. I think that's going to be very helpful against the upcoming Seismitoad, because I need some of that speed. Hit with a brine. Gross. We'll go ahead and Brick Break. Take care of that thing. There we go. Nice. And there's the Seismitoad. I think Jalapeno should be able to take this thing out. What do you say? Jalapeno? Grass Knot. Nice. And the thing is, Jalapeno has a cool moveset. I believe it can actually learn the TM Scald as well. So with one of your starters, you can actually give it a water move and a grass move. And that leaves Excavalier, which is one of my favorite Pokemon from this region. It's really cool. Look at this. It's like a jousting knight. Look at that. Got like lances on its arm. Yeah, he's like showing us off. He's showing it off. Look at my arms. Look how pointy they are. And then he died. So really not much of a threat from this guy. And now that Route 10 is complete, we will now step into the gates. This is something that they did in Generation 1. I do believe a lot of things they did here in Gen 5 was a callback to Gen 1. And this is actually one of them. These gates are where you have to prove that you have each badge before you can continue. So the gates open up because we have the trio badge. And you can see this first part is just sand. Now we see more of a little brook, a little meadow. Oh, my rappel is still on. So now we have to have the basic badge. Each area is going to have a little more added to it. You see now there's a garden and there's wild Pokemon here, so keep that in mind. This Volibee is really annoying and it's really mean. It does not let you run away, so I think I'm gonna kill this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and Brick Break it, because you know, it's not gonna let me go. This thing evolves into Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is a very good Pokemon, not going to lie. But it's more for its bulk, not for its attack prowess. If you do want to use a Mandibuzz, give it the move Foul Play. And then it doesn't matter how low its attack is. And as long as you use Foul Play on that thing, it's going to be able to do some damage. Let's go ahead and open up this. This is where the insect badge check is. Now we continue up, and now instead of becoming more floral, you can see we have a giant bug, you know, on brand because of the insect badge. The little brook was because we had the first badge. The flower garden was because we had the second badge. That was, you know, the basic badge. And here, what is this guy doing? What are you doing? Gates are placed at the border of one space to another space. Gates mean that beyond there's a different world. Doesn't it feel like every time you pass through a gate, you're going through a different world? The gym leader, and you remember the gym leader who gave you the badge at the same time. So I guess he's saying he doesn't have the Quake badge. But you can see there's like electrical panels. Now with the Quake badge, we could see it's like they put diamonds in there. They went all out. But what if there's ever like a change of, you know, badge? That's something they've done in different games. Do they just go and... Ooh, look at this. Do they just go and change everything? I mean, this is kind of dangerous. Not gonna lie. I'm standing over a precipice here. Just hoping that the wind keeps blowing. I mean, can I walk this way? I can. Look at this. Look at the dangers involved. How many people have sued this Victory Road gate? Like, that's dangerous, sir. Next up is a freeze badge. We do have that. You know, this is also dangerous because, you know, you could slip and slide and hurt yourself. But honestly, if the worst thing is you can slide and hurt yourself, I think that's better than the precipice that they set up for Skyla's gate. Now we'll walk past these two giant dragons. Can you step in their mouth? Oh, you can. Don't mind me. Don't mind me a bit. And now with that, there's only one more step. And then we have found our way to Victory Road. And I think Victory Road is something that we're going to do next time. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. I did not mean to leave. That's like I'm terrified and I'm running away. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next Pokemon video.